Is this safe for us? Is this safe for our kids, sir? I'm the mother of
Safe
five.
safe is relative. Okay, so the formal term that you might want to, rather, if you say safe, okay, safe is such a great big thing that I can't even answer it. You know, safe is in the eye of the beholder. So some people might say for a vaccine, safe means no deaths, no bad things happening. I'm sorry, every drug and vaccine has bad stuff that happens, including flu. So is this unnecessary, or is the question is the risk here worth the benefit? And what the governments have been doing across the world is they've been looking at the whole population. So they take everybody, put them all together in one box, and then they take all the bad stuff that happens, put it together in another box. I'm paraphrasing.
Right.
And then they make a ratio, and they say, oh, if you look at everybody, and the bad things that can happen to COVID to everybody, then the fact that few 100,000 people, maybe a few tens of thousands of people die, and a few hundreds of thousands of people get sick that they wouldn't otherwise have gotten sick, that's okay, because the sickness associated with COVID and the death associated with COVID is so bad that it justifies it. Here's the problem with that logic, is that all of that death and illness is really heavily clustered into the elderly and the obese and others with risk factors. So another way, so they're using that to justify that we should vaccinate young adults returning to college and force them all to get vaccinated. But if you actually stratify, this is what's weird, is that this is what's always done with vaccines, is you don't look at the whole population, you look at the subgroups. So you look at the elderly, you look at healthy normal adults, you look at adolescents, children, infants, pregnant women, special populations like people with immunocompromise, and you make a risk-benefit ratio analysis for each one of those. This hasn't been done. And there's very little in terms of a formal calculation. What they usually do is they use the tools that the insurance company uses called quality adjusted life year actuarial table analysis. And one of the things about QALYs is if you do the risk benefit analysis with that, it weights towards safety in the young, because the young have much longer lifespans than the old do, okay? Sure. And so to be frank, this is a little blunt, but I'm going to say it. This is a boomer disease. It's a disease of the elderly. It does not cause very frequent death and disability in even young adults all the way to infants. And I personally don't see compelling logic at this point, when we still don't even know the full spectrum of adverse events, in favor of vaccinating young adults, adolescents, down through infants. I just don't see it as making sense.
Right. I know you're